The 0 point. It's what keeps Fortnite a continuous loop. It's how we queue into a match one after another. Without it, Fortnite would not be playable. But what if it exploded? The 0 point is about power and control. These are the biggest secrets about the 0 point. And we are back with another Fortnite theory. It looks like you guys loved the first one, so let's make a second one. The very first sign we got of anything connected to the 0 point is in the Fortnite Season 5 Chapter 1 trailer. Right here we see Loot Lake 12 days ago, very peaceful and in its usual habitat. But then after those 12 days, things start to get mysterious. We see some sort of rocket fly out of the sky, cracking it open and cracking the atmosphere area of Loot Lake. Things in Fortnite start disappearing and players are disappearing. Right here we get a real life shot of Drift and the Durburger. But then a rift takes them into the world of Fortnite. In the Fortnite world we see more objects just dropping down into the land. What I think is happening here is that these rifts are taking real life objects and bringing them into the world of Fortnite. As we get more into the season, we find a giant purple cube. His name is Kevin. I'm still confused what this was meant for, whether he was on the search for the 0 point orb or to obstruct the map. I have zero clue. Before the end of Season 5, we finally get an item called Rift Go. Basically you can use this item to rift / teleport into the highest part of the sky and the sky will crack. After you can glide wherever you feel like. This explains all the objects that were thrown into the map. The next season, Season 6, we get the butterfly event. During this time the cube had formed a giant island with Loot Lake and was traveling around the map. As we can see in the event, the cube was in the middle of the island and was spinning around, getting some sort of electric lightning energy. This energy the cube was getting was definitely from the 0 point orb. The screen just flashbanged and we entered a new dimension. We were in the 0 point, and this isn't the only time we enter it. We touch the butterfly rift and teleport back into the map. The cube island was gone, but there were remains in the middle of Loot Lake, which meant the cube had exploded. Throughout Season 6 and Season 7, there were no changes with Loot Lake. But then Season 8 arrives. We see a strange construction site over at the middle of Loot Lake, forming it in an, or should I say, the agency. But remember, we are still in Chapter 1. In the end of season event of Season 8, we get sucked into the middle of the vault in Loot Lake. We see the 0 point. We see the 0 point, finally, for the first time, in its natural habitat. At this time, I myself had zero clue what this was, and only now does this all make sense. The drum gun was unvaulted and tilted. Polar Peak and Retail Row got destroyed by the volcano eruption. Season 9, we were in the future. But wait, this helmet looks familiar. We've seen this helmet somewhere else as well. The helmet in color on the desk in the unvaulting event. This is the Singularity skin. This skin, statue and helmet will soon be very, very helpful. The volcano now turned into a lava river and we got to see Pressure Plant. The Loot Lake 0 point energy was being used to power Neo Tilted as well. Fast forwarding into the end of season event for Season 9, the monster was Mecha. Based on the storyline and some loading screens, I believe that this skin was building the mecha for it to fight the monster. In the event, we can see the monster attacking and trying to get the power and energy of the 0 point. The mecha, on the other hand, needed to get the 0 point's energy to destroy the monster. The mecha picks up the statue, which was actually a giant sword, to destroy the monster. The mecha saves the day, but now the 0 point vault was destroyed and opened. The 0 point exploded. We then take a trip into the 0 point. All the vaulted weapons, items, props from events, buildings, and the mecha. Please stay in the vault forever. Yeah, let's just not talk about that giant robot that ruined the game. We then get thrown back into the map where we see a giant meteor in the air, frozen, and the 0 point area is also frozen. It is paused. This pausing effect from the 0 point brought in rift beacons. We had story suburbs. You can get amazing high tier loot from getting these stores. We got borderlands in the desert area as well. Near the end of the season, a rocket was being built. Just like in season 4, the rocket was the first ever event. During the event, the rocket launched up into the sky, causing a meteor to come crashing down at the 0 point. The meteor destroyed the 0 point, which means the map was nothing. Everything was gone. We just had a black hole. But this was the preparation for chapter 2. The whole entire map was new. But we had no sign of the 0 point. But remember, in the first season of chapter 1, there were no signs of the 0 point. The 0 point in this chapter 2 map must have been under the map somewhere. As we go into the season 2 of chapter 2, we finally see the 0 point. But this time, it's not Singularity that's in charge of the 0 point. It's Midas, the king of Fortnite and ruler of the agency. The device end of season event of season 2. Midas used the 0 point energy to build a machine that would push back the storm, but his plan didn't work. Moving on to season 4, since nothing changed a lot in season 3 of chapter 2, we find Galactus wanting the 0 point and wanting control of it. Right here, as we can see, Galactus hungers for the 0 point. He most likely wants the power of the 0 point to take over Fortnite and other dimensions. In the event, Galactus tries to take over the 0 point, but the 0 point pushes and fights back. We helped to defeat Galactus and he got rifted away. Season 5. Jonesy is in charge of keeping the 0 point safe. Jonesy uses a crystal from the 0 point like a rift to go to different dimensions and recruit different characters. But something that I just realized when making this video is that every time Jonesy uses a rift and goes to another dimension, the 0 point orb becomes more and more unstable. Right off the bat in season 6, the 0 point orb is on the edge of cracking. Jonesy must stop it, otherwise it would destroy the entirety of Fortnite. Jonesy makes it to the 0 point orb and he throws the last crystal that the 0 point has, hoping that it would stabilize the 0 point. As he does that, a small meteor comes crashing down. The Foundation has come and Jonesy makes a deal, saying he can get him to Geno.
I can get you to Geno. And the sisters? I can get you all of them.
Which might be a different dimension, that's what I think. But the Foundation must fix the 0 point orb.
For now. Oh, that's very...
Jonesy had to seal off the 0 point and overload the device. If he does that, both the Foundation and Jonesy will be stuck in the loop. Jonesy commits to it and both of them are gone. We've entered the primal season of Fortnite. This time, the Spire assassin guards the 0 point, walking around the buildings and village, while the 0 point is at the very top of the Spire. Jumping right into Season 7, Peely says, "Then the rest of them showed up," referring to the aliens that want to take over the 0 point. The alien mothership UFO explodes the Spire where the 0 point is. But if the 0 point was exploded, wouldn't everything and the map be much different? As we get more into the season, we will see what the aliens' plans are.